The whole world of love and hip-hop is in flames. The group may be permanently torn apart by the horrifying footage that came to light last night. Fans everywhere watched as Jock and Jasmine had an intense kiss, are going crazy. As Kendra's covert plot of retaliation surfaced, social media erupted, exposing months of deceit, manipulation, and unanticipated confrontations. However, the mayhem didn't end there. Tensions erupted backstage when Spice barged in and gave Kirk Frost a live smack, rendering Rashida stunned and the cameras filming. As Tamar revealed she was pregnant, Yandi started crying, and the stunning hidden enmity between Bambi and Ona was eventually revealed. In real time, every alliance is broken, every betrayal is amplified, and every cast member's devotion is called into doubt. The audience members are hooked to their screens as the drama escalates to previously unheard-of heights due to leaked communications, heated confrontations, and secret recordings. Who is going to make it through this storm, and whose secrets will now burn them forever? Exposed. That night, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta's backstage area was a veritable battleground. The cast passed through while the cameras rolled and staff members anxiously muttered. Passages that were so tense that a knife might pierce them. For weeks there had been rumors, but none anticipated what was going to happen. Typically the focus of attention, Jock was captured on camera sharing a passionate and covert kiss with Jasmine. An intimate moment, concealed from both co-stars and fans' inquisitive eyes. According to sources, Kendra covertly taped the video because she was fed up with Jock's frequent betrayals and covert manipulations. But Kendra was not satisfied with the proof alone. She had meticulously planned her retaliation for months, to the point where it would rock the cast's foundation. Her comprehensive plan included precisely scheduled encounters, leaking texts, and hidden cameras. She would hit at last tonight. Jaws dropped when she told producers and a few chosen insiders about her idea. Fell. While some gasped and some chuckled, others realized right away that nothing would ever be the same. Jock and Jasmine, meantime, were blissfully ignorant of the fact that a chain reaction had already been triggered by their hidden rendezvous. Within minutes, the video was leaked to gossip channels, and the social media frenzy started. Such hashtags as Juke. Within hours, the Kendra revenge and Jasmine drama became viral across the country. Every frame of the released video was analyzed by fans, who conjectured about who was involved, who knew what, and who would blow up first. Memes appeared that showed Kendra grin triumphantly, Jasmine looked guilty, and Jock looked surprised. Tension among the actors increased as rumors of treachery, loyalty, and ulterior motives spread like wildfire through the corridors. In the midst of this confusion, Rashida attempted to keep things under control. She went up to Jock first, asking him to explain, but the video was self-evident. Jock's efforts to minimize the kiss, saying it was only for a second, failed. He fell farther and more into a pit of shame and anxiety, the more he attempted to defend himself. Nevertheless, Jasmine had expected a minor leak. However, Kendra was rendered inarticulate by the scope and timeliness of her disclosures. They both sensed the world observing the cameras and the actors, and millions of internet admirers who are now analyzing every word and move, stoking the flames even more. Spice showed up. Her feisty personality is well known. She addressed Jock with a force that no one could ignore, and she had zero tolerance for lying. According to witnesses, she gave him a hard smack across the face, causing the studio floor to tremble with stress. Rashida, who was standing close by, found it difficult to remain composed as Spice's unfiltered feelings took over. For weeks, the event would be preserved on social media and in fan accounts thanks to the cameras, which recorded every second, every gasp, and every scream to follow. Fans argued endlessly over whether Spice was right or had gone too far after the slap alone garnered over 1 million views in the first hour. As this public altercation continued, Kendra carried out the second part of her strategy. Too important. Cast members were exposed via leaked private communications between Jock and Jasmine, which exposed months of deceit, manipulation, and covert schemes. Jock was seen attempting to play in the messages, both sides covertly meeting Jasmine in unidentified places and swearing allegiance to Kendra. Although Jasmine had tried to evade detection, her texts verified that she was aware of Kendra's concerns. The actors could no longer overlook the obvious double-crossing. Real-time alliances changed as some members publicly supported Kendra while others did not. The fan response was immediate, with everyone scrambling to defend their own beliefs. Videos of the altercation took over trending topics on Twitter. Fan edits, TikTok recreations, and Instagram reels were all over the place. Viral material was created from every leaked text, private video, and contentious fight. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta became a live, unscripted soap opera as fans discussed, conjectured, and made predictions about what might happen next. Opera that was not limited to the studio. Tensions increased within the program as even the security staff and producers found it difficult to control the growing drama. There were rumors that more altercations would become violent, with some crew members apparently gaining readiness for the worst. Other cast members were secretly planning their next steps off camera. Already under mental strain, Yandi allegedly started planning ways to safeguard her reputation, given the current state of affairs. Aware of the drastic changes, Tamar whispered to a few chosen insiders about potential partnerships and impending eruptions. Bambi and An were spotted, huddled together, talking about how they could take advantage of the circumstance. Every glance had importance, every discussion had the potential to be explosive, and every encounter was calculated. There was no atmosphere. Like a ticking time bomb on the verge of blowing up, short of electrified. The truth set in as the night wore on. This was more than a case of personal treachery. The rest of the season would be characterized by a full-scale social media tempest, a power struggle between cast members, and a fight of reputations. Every action Jock and Jasmine took appeared to backfire spectacularly, leaving them to strive to restore their reputations. Now that she was in complete charge, Kendra carefully planned each reveal to hold the advantage and keep the audience absolutely enthralled, both live and virtually. There was a startling cliffhanger at the end of this epic narrative. Fans were left hanging as cameras focused on Jasmine's ambivalent reactions and Jock's terrified countenance. Would Jock make it through the criticism? Could Jasmine win again the respect of the actors and audience? What spectacular maneuvers! Did Kendra have planned for the future? It was obvious. In the world of love and hip-hop, nothing would ever be the same. The unfiltered emotions, the viral disclosures, and the backstage drama set setting the foundation for a string of more intense altercations that should be even more stunning in the upcoming episodes. All cast members, fans, and insiders were aware that they were watching history being made, a masterclass in celebrity drama, retaliation, and manipulation. Even if the cameras were momentarily switched off, the internet community kept analyzing, debating, and obsessing over every single minute, guaranteeing that the storm would only intensify in the days that followed. The consequences of Jock and Jasmine's passionate kiss were disastrous. Every social media site conceivable has seen the leaked video spread like wildfire. Millions of people saw the video in a matter of minutes, and fan rage, accusations, and hypotheses erupted in the comments area. Every spectator had a viewpoint. Some accused Jock for Kendra's betrayal. Some took Jasmine's side, while a large throng cheered Kendra's careful plan of retaliation. However, as the internet community engaged in unending argument, the anxiety backstage was at an all-time high. Spice, who was already in the center of the mayhem, had escalated her altercation with Jock. She slapped him, then didn't end there. She cornered him close to the main set, according to sources, and demanded answers while her voice rose with raw energy. "Do you believe you can get away with playing everyone?" Her eyes flashed with rage as she screamed, Security attempted to step in, but the cameras recorded every moment, showing the team her intensity in real time. Standing close by, Rashida found it difficult to remain composed. As she tried to mediate the mounting conflict, the show's normally composed matriarch was clearly frightened, her hands shaking. Spice wasn't finished, though. Private audio communications had been obtained by her. In the meanwhile, Kendra's grand scheme proceeded with surgical accuracy. In addition to Jock and Jasmine, she had also disclosed other private emails involving other cast members who had been subtly escalating the conflict behind the scenes. Every communication that was leaked exposed a complex network of ties, deceit, and personal grudges. While some texts showed how certain cast members had been purposefully or unintentionally passing Kendra information, others disclosed Jasmine's attempts to control events for her own benefit. The cast, caught off guard by these disclosures, was compelled to engage in a series of confrontations that none could escape. Yandi, who had been silently watching the mayhem, was overcome with emotion. Her customary stoicism broke as the constant stress brought up memories of tough relationships and betrayals. According to people close to the program, she sobbed during a private discussion after discovering that cast trust had fallen to an all-time low. Tamar sensed a chance to have an impact after observing Yandi's emotional state. The changing balance of power. She discussed plans with a small circle of insiders, attempting to take advantage of the rifts created by Spica's conflicts and Kendra's revelations. When Rashida returned to the set, her part got more crucial. She tried to keep things in order, but it was almost difficult because of how emotionally charged her friends were. Normally strong and forceful, her voice wavered as she made her way through the maze of charges, slaps, and secret leaks. Several times, according to witnesses, she had to physically remove Spice from Jock. Each incident was caught on camera and posted on fan accounts. Fans responded right away, generating hashtags such as Kendra Master Plan, Shuck Spice Fees JC, and EA Intervenes. As each altercation generated content, the show's internet fan base grew rapidly, generating conjecture, analysis, and never-ending discussion. Jasmine, meantime, had to deal with the fury of both the actors and the fans. Her credibility had been harmed by the released video, which portrayed her as a controlling figure in Jock's covert adventures. Her facial expressions in the video were analyzed by social media users, who said they showed uneasiness, shame, and even joy at the mayhem. She had assisted in planning. The drama was heightened by influencers and gossip websites, which hosted live responses and countdowns to each new discovery. As the storm developed, the fan community actively participated, making sure that every action taken by Jasmine, Jock, or Kendra was watched closely and discussed in real time. Amid the tumult, two cast members who are frequently undervalued for their influence, Bambi and Ona, saw a special opportunity. In private, they spoke about using the circumstance to improve their standing inside the cast hierarchy by quietly supporting Kendra and giving Spice and Rashida only certain facts. In a show that is now ruled by treachery and distrust, they present themselves as reliable insiders. Every rumor, every secret, and every well-timed response turned into a calculated play in a game in which alliances changed every minute. The emotional stakes only grew higher as the evening went on. Producers found it difficult to maintain the show's timeline since each discussion turned into a possible headline. Every look is a chance to become viral. While backstage crews rushed to keep the cameras running for every surprising event, security guards were on edge, expecting possible escalation. Conflict, social media responses, leaked communications, and live video combined to create an atmosphere that made staging impossible. Everything seemed unadulterated and unrefined, and disturbingly authentic. Part 2 ended with yet another unexpected turn. A surprising tape that purportedly came from Kendra herself showed that she'd been controlling a number of other cast members in addition to Jock and Jasmine. Even longtime followers were left wondering about the honesty of all those involved after hearing the recording's hints of betrayals. Discussions on Kendra's strategic genius went viral on social media. The show's internet participation reached previously unheard of heights as a result of her icy precision and the possible long-term consequences of her actions, mess, response videos, and speculative threads. The stage was set for a decisive battle as Part 2 came to an end. The connections among the cast members were irreparably broken. The audience had been drawn into a tornado of drama, passion, and spectacle, and trust was a scarce resource. All fans, insiders, and viewers were left on edge, anxious to find out what would happen next. Would Jock try to make amends? Could Jasmine save her reputation? Above all, in a scenario where every secret has been revealed and every betrayal amplified, what would Kendra do next? The scenario concluded with Rashida suppressing her emotions, Spice staring at Jock, and Kendra grinning from afar. An ideal moment of pandemonium captured in a photograph. One thing was certain for fans who were observing from their gadgets. The third installment would be larger, more startling, and unquestionably memorable. Backstage tension was at an all-time high. All of the actors were on edge, conscious that a single misstep may set off a full-scale dramatization. An atmosphere of pressure had been generated by the leaked tapes, threats, and social media remarks that went viral. And in a way no one could have predicted, that pressure was going to explode tonight. It all began when Spice, still furious at the continued deceit, approached Kirk Frost in front of the production team and cameras. There was a sense of excitement and expectancy in the air. Although security had been alerted, the unfiltered feelings on the set were tangible. Everyone was aware that this altercation might go any way. Spice's hands shook a little as she walked toward Kirk, her eyes burning with rage. "You have been deceiving, controlling," she yelled, her voice resonating across the studio, "and concealing things from all of us." The cameras didn't bat an eye, catching every second in crisp live video that instantly went viral on the internet. Rashida, standing close by, was torn between being a violent guardian and a maternal mediator. She took a step forward, trying with her hands. Bambi and Ona, who watched from the sidelines, recognized a special chance to gain more clout. They covertly captured their own perspectives of the fight, distributing a few clips to influential people and disclosing confidential information regarding cast tactics. Their strategic actions enabled them to mold the internet story, portraying themselves as insiders with unique information, and each leak, snippet, and shared video turned into a manipulative weapon, raising the stakes even higher. As this was going on, Kendra pulled off her masterstroke, using the chaos to publicly release an explosive message that exposed Jasmine's previous plans to manipulate situations for her own benefit. The revelation validated suspicions that many fans had held, igniting a heated discussion about ethics, loyalty, and dishonesty. Fans analyzed every word, and social media platforms exploded with responses, threads, surveys, memes, and video comments. Every move and every motivation, sustaining the drama and sustaining the escalating craze. Part 3 ended with a shocking revelation. Leaked video showed a covert meeting between Jock, Jasmine, and a hitherto. According to an unidentified source, they allegedly discussed controlling the narrative, influencing other cast members, and manipulating results in order to maximize their own personal advantage. The revelation caused shockwaves throughout social media, making the cast and fans reevaluate all of their presumptions. Was Kendra really in charge, or was there a more intricate web of connections at work? By the end of the segment 3, the studio was in disarray. Relationships were broken, and the online public was completely involved and in dire need of a resolution. Spice, Rashida, and Kendra were key players in a complex network of the drama, unadulterated and unfiltered, had viewers on the edge of their seats as they anticipated even more unexpected events in Part 4. The night had just began, unedited, had reached a fever pitch, and everyone watching knew that the following episode would completely rewrite the season's story. Fans were transfixed to their televisions, watching video of Spice confronting Kirk Frost, Rashidita attempting to mediate, and the subtle manipulations by Kendra and Jasmine, but the tension backstage had escalated to levels no one could have expected. However, nobody had yet understood that clandestine alliances were growing in the background, connections that would eventually blow out, leaving all of the actors frantically trying to save their reputations and images in the shadowy corners of the studio. Whispers passed between An and Bambi, who had secretly allied themselves with certain crew members to obtain film that the main production team had not yet viewed as part of their leak strategy. A hidden library of evidence was being created by carefully recording every whispered discussion and murmured chuckle, enhancing public fury and guaranteeing that the narrative remained solidly in their favor. That would alter the season's trajectory. But Kendra, the strategist, was always one step ahead, using her intimate familiarity with the actors and the production schedule to